Good evening. It is Tuesday, December 5th, 2017. My name is Jacob.
And I'm Danielle.
And we are the Proteus Podcast. Ideas in all shapes and forms.
Hello, Jake.
Hello, Danny.
All right, we're going to get right into it.
Just right into it. There's still problems with this movie.
All right, so this is part 2 of our Justice League review. If you missed the first part, go back in a podcast and listen to that. I basically tear down
Scathing reviews, people.
the overall structure of the film, the terrible CGI. Jake agrees with me on most things, but still enjoyed it. Today, we're going to talk about the characters, their interactions, and pretty much whatever else floats our boat.
Wait, I've got it. This movie is like candy corn.
What? No.
No, wait. Let me finish.
I like candy corn.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. It's like those weird strawberry candies. You know the ones?
Yeah, I like those too.
Oh, wait. Okay, hang on. It's like a Werther's. It's like...
You know what? You know what this movie's like?
What?
Arby's.
Arby's? You'll enjoy it if there's nothing else.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it if there's nothing else.
It's just one of those... just deep hunting for metaphors here. It's just like... I have the capability of shutting off my brain and just getting some amusement out of it.
Yeah, and that's
But if you really focus on it, you're like, I really wish I hadn't.
So
wait. It's like those toothpaste flavored mints they give out at Valentine's Day.
Oh, man.
There you go. Everyone hates those, but they'll eat one package.
I won't.
Yes, you will. If someone you love gives you them, you will eat them.
No, I won't. I give those away. I just gave some of those away this year.
Why do you have... Hey, never mind.
Anyway. So, because I have coworkers that are peachy.
You're my foot. Ow! I think I stepped on a sticker through my sock.
Oh, good job.
Goat head. My favorite.
So let's talk about some characters.
Natural caltrops. Characters. All right, let's start with Batman.
Oh, man. Ben Affleck. So Ben Affleck is a great actor.
He really is. He's done a good job in a lot of things. This might not be one of them.
This may not be one of them. Okay, so this is supposed to take place 6 months after Batman v Superman.
6 measly months?
6 measly months. Okay?
Boy, I bet Superman was bored laying there in that box for 6 whole months.
And what I'm about to say is... Bruce Wayne got lazy and out of shape in 6 months. I mean, like look at the side by sides, right? Now I'm not saying that Ben Affleck was fat. He was in shape for a middle-aged white male.
Sure.
But that being said, he was not Batman in shape.
Right.
And then you add on to it that it seemed like half the time he seemed pained to be doing what he was doing. Like, yeah. A lot of his acting just seemed like he was just forcing himself to do the lines.
Yeah.
I mean, just it kind of made me sad. And also, this is my first complaint. This is really with the Batman character is where they really went completely off kilter from Batman v Superman, because like Batman v Superman, he did the line, if there's even a 1% chance that he's bad, I'm gonna kill him.
Right.
And he's the first person who's like,
we're gonna have to get him back.
We have to get him back. Even if there's a chance he goes insano psychopath, we have to get him back.
Yeah, that's a glitch in the writing there.
I think that's a Joss Whedon rewrite. I think that's the tone. I think that's the shifting tone. And they're like, okay. But the first scene with Batman, okay, he's hunting the parademon, so he's like fighting the street thug,
Right.
and trying to scare the living piss out of him to get the parademon to show up.
Right.
And at the end, he just leaves the guy who just like opened up a full magazine into the city.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
And they just have like this casual back and forth, and then he just leaves him.
Yeah, I was sort of baffled by that as well. I was like, is he going to take him to jail or something?
This is Batman, right? I expected at the least, like, yeah, they're coming. This is bad. And then, like, netting the guy as, like not even looking at him, but, like, throwing, like, a bat grenade of netting onto him with just something. But instead, we get this, like, Batman doesn't care about people anymore.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And then it's like his portrayal of like taking care of his secret identity is just gone in this film.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, there's airport people, like when they onboard, when they disembark from his jet, and Barry Allen's like, oh, that's the bat signal, you gotta go, you're Batman. And there's like people in the background.
Yeah.
Then he's in the village, which, you know, they understand him speaking English.
Well, to be fair, it is the language of the world.
Right. And Arthur Curry, the Aquaman, is like, yeah, you're the Batman. He's like, yeah, I'm the Batman.
Dresses like a bat.
And
I can dig it.
And there's like two people right there, like 5 feet away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Bruce Wayne, the Batman, would not let any of that fly.
I think I think the message they're trying to send there is, in this universe, Batman's secret, giant air quotes, identity is Bruce Wayne, and it's all like a wink and another, like everyone knows, and we just let him have this one. Like everyone in the whole wide world knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but it's just like they went long enough without knowing who it was that they once everybody knew, they're like, yeah, we'll just whatever. Just roll with it. It's cool. It's cool.
Well, and that's like the other thing too. It's like this guy's supposed to be like the greatest detective in the world, right? He's Batman.
Yeah.
And he's Batman.
That nomenclature, character is so gone by the wayside in the last few dozen representations of Batman.
Well, you know, not a few dozen really.
I mean, well, few half a dozen.
Past a couple.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, okay,
He's more like just secret bat ninja, not so much greatest detective in the world.
Right. And like the thing is about Batman is that he has a contingency for like everything, right?
Right.
He doesn't go anywhere without a plan.
Right.
So he goes in to the Flash's, Ezra Miller's secret hideout place where he's hiding from the world. He's sitting in a chair and he's like, I know that you have powers, but I don't know what they are. It's like he saw a video.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. He's fast.
It's pretty clear. And then he's like, well, to find out what your powers are firsthand, I'm just gonna throw a batarang at your head.
I think, and like, you can look at it as ridiculous, or you can look at it as he absolutely already knows, and he's just playing with the Flash.
That's just, which could be it. It's possible, but they don't let on to that at all.
They don't let on to that, but because you don't just throw a batarang at someone and hope to God you're right that they have high-speed superpowers, because otherwise you're just gonna kill them. Oops.
Right.
Huh.
Right.
What did I? Alfred, how do you hide a body?
Well, this Batman has a lot of experiences in hiding bodies. He kills a lot of people.
But so I was like, that scene played just a little different for me in my interpretation of it. He absolutely knows, and he's just kind of going through the motions of making him show himself.
Yeah, So and then like, is it just me or was like every scene with Batfleck fighting seemed unimpressive?
I think that was almost it did. I also wonder if it's deliberate, because like there's the line where Alfred says to him, he's like, "I miss the days of when all we had to worry about were wind up explosive penguins," right?
Right.
And like I think
But
they're trying to drive at this. This is the old Batman. He's like getting up there. He knows he really shouldn't be doing this shit anymore, but you got to pull it out one more time.
I'll give you that, but this is only 6 months after Batman v Superman, where
Which
he showed that he could fight.
Yeah, but
Like-
I still feel
like
like
he
even
had
then
these-
it was like, okay, shouldn't gonna anyways. Even in that movie, I got that impression that it was,
But it's not like he hasn't been doing anything. It's just, I
Yeah.
don't know. Batman is supposed to be a master of all martial arts in the world.
yeah,
He's supposed to be this like a tactical genius. He's supposed to have all these trainings. Like he has League of Assassin training. It shouldn't matter how old he is. He should be able to go toe to toe with these parademons,
well,
especially
you
with
get,
his multi-layered muscle suit.
eventually your arthritis is gonna catch up with you. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that the Batman. Oh, and then I want to. So there are two MacGuffins in this movie.
Okay.
Maybe three. Three MacGuffins. One, Superman. Two, the mother boxes. Three, getting the team together.
Yeah,
Okay. Finally has the team all together.
right.
They're going to storm the castle. And he's like, I got this all on my own.
Yeah, that was strange. So we've gone over Batman heavily now. We're pressed for time. The Cyborg was
Yep.
ridiculous. Let's just leave it at that. Like
Well,
everything about
okay,
that was
so-
embarrassing, and they shouldn't have done it.
Well, the problem I have with the Cyborg is that
Who are the
I
other members of
honestly
the Justice
feel like
League?
we
Hang on a
didn't
minute.
the
Keep going.
Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Superman. The Cyborg, we didn't get the payoff, right?
Yeah,
they kept
you,
on
like,
bringing up on how
He's
on
probably
how
going to be
he may
consumed
not
by
be
this
with
shit.
them. And yet he's not. He's just always with them. There's no struggle. There's just he gets this half-ass storyline and like all this other stuff that I bet you in the Zack Snyder version, there's a point where he goes against them
Probably.
because there's so much foreshadowing for it. I honestly think that they put so much into it that it's ridiculous that we didn't get any payoff on it.
Right? Okay, so just because I couldn't help myself, I had to look this up. So the original 7 members of the Justice League were Superman, Aquaman, Flash, the Green Lantern, Martin Manhunter, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
Martian Manhunter, not Martin. Martian.
Martian Manhunter. Anyways, so
He's from Mars.
Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern clearly weren't in this movie. Well, Green Lantern was for like
Yeah.
7 seconds.
Well, we
But-
got a Green Lantern.
A Green Lantern for like 7 seconds. But then, and then the alternates that have rotated out were Atom, Black Canary, Green Arrow, Hawk Girl, Hawkman, Plastic Man, Stargirl, Shazam, Cyborg, and Zatanna.
Yep.
It's like, could they not have picked one of those other alternates that would have been easier to CGI and had a better
Or-
story?
Yes. I wish they
Like,
would have. But the
Green
thing is
Arrow?
that
That'd have been cool.
Cyborg- In the animated DC verse, Cyborg's really popular.
Right.
And they included him in this movie because of that popularity as a money thing.
Well, that's
It
stupid.
was like
Who wants money?
they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like with that character there was so much that was missed.
Yeah. It
And
was like he
it's-
wasn't even there.
And then they have like this fiddle thing where he has to like disrupt the mother boxes. And that's like the most non-climactic part of any part of this movie. Is him like interfacing with the mother box, just staring at it. And I'm just like,
Yeah, it seems like if there was ever the time for some CGI, that would have been it.
yeah.
Like, something
Evidently,
happened?
Yeah. One of the original storylines, in theory, because you have to be in the room to truly know, is that he was a mother box.
Huh.
Like his father incorporated a mother box into him, and that was supposed to be a big plot point to the movie, which would make all the other references that he may not be with them seem more likely.
Yeah.
And then we would have gotten this struggle of like him fighting against the mother boxes and more drama, blah 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 at the end. Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of problems there.
Yeah.
So, The Flash.
Oh, so out of all of them, he's the one I was least happy with.
Yeah.
I will say that his outfit, awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
The thing you talked about in the trailers where, like, every time he thinks about moving, lightning comes off of him is just weird.
uh-huh. And also, they like made him too much comedic relief.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
I can understand you need some comedic relief, but you get the impression he's kind of been flashing for a while, but he like
Yeah.
has absolutely no control over his abilities for the most part.
Well, and they show that the whole world is slow motion to him, right?
Yeah.
They show that.
Like he shouldn't be able to trip over anything.
Like if he would have tripped once in the film, I forgive that. He tripped 4 times.
Yeah.
Like I was and then his like and if this movie showed me anything, Ezra Miller does not know how to run. And they did not hire someone to show him how to run. Like with the whole like arms like loping in front of him,
Just flailing his way down the yeah. It's kind of like your escape run.
yeah.
There you go.
But
to those of you who have no idea what that's about, sorry, inside joke. You have to see it to believe it.
truth. But yeah, like it would have been great.
They should have hired Tom Cruise to show him how to run.
Yes, Tom Cruise definitely knows how
He's
to
like
run.
the best runner in Hollywood.
But
This has been pointed out by others.
I think would have been great for his character had he been like all nervous and whatever, like when he wasn't in the outfit, and the moment he put on the outfit he got that classic Barry Allen slight cockiness about him.
Right.
But the whole thing about him being a nervous, scared Barry Allen.
You know what it looked like to me? It looked like they tried to pull a lot from the Spider-Man Homecoming character and pulled all the wrong parts.
They did. They pulled all the wrong parts. Also, if the parademons are attracted to fear, why weren't they after him all the time?
Good question.
Like, but yeah, the whole like I will say this: the one moment I didn't laugh out loud, but the one moment I chuckled and smiled is the part where he's running up on Superman, and Superman like looks at him and starts moving at his speed. That was pretty great because it was like, but then it pans back to the Flash and he goes back to that overly comedic expression of what's going on here, guys.
Yeah. This movie
But yeah.
suffered from something that, like, somehow Marvel has avoided in having so many characters, none of them get enough time to matter.
Yeah. And I think the reason for that is that we have a little bit of taste of every Avenger before the Avenger movie.
Yeah. And
You
this
know.
one is throwing 3 characters that we've never seen at us
Right.
and trying to make them have a reason for existing.
Yep. And but yeah, I honestly the biggest letdown for me in this was the Flash because I love the Flash. I love Barry Allen. I like those characters are just amazing. And Ezra Miller, a great actor, but his like what they did with him with the Flash just kind of murked me.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, so Wonder Woman.
Well, do you have thoughts on Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman was Wonder Woman. Seemed
Well,
fine.
Yeah, they copied some of her scenes, like some of her choreography, and from like the Wonder Woman movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say, actually, I'll throw that. You can tell the Joss Whedon influence because there were some straight rip-offs out of the Avengers and other Joss Whedon films.
Yeah.
But so here's a difference between Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon, and you probably didn't catch this, but when she gets into the bank or wherever the bomb is at the very beginning, and the guy's like, "You're too late," and blah 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 blah. He says, "There's this location and three others,"
Huh.
and they're all set to go off, and with and in one of the trailers, you see one of the buildings in Paris blow up.
Huh.
So I think part of the darker tone that Zack Snyder was going for in this film is that the world has gone really crap. Like she rescues one building but doesn't rescue three others.
Yeah.
And that was originally supposed to be part of it. And
Yeah,
yeah.
because that character that she's fighting there's a line he has that says, this is man's best hope, down with the modern world, back to the dark ages and the safety of holy fear.
Yes.
Which is kind of super weird, right?
Yeah.
And I get the impression that the Zack Snyder cut had there's a terrorist group that's trying to, tear down the modern world that was addressed in that cut.
Yeah.
Instead of in the what we got.
Yep.
Like, I think there was a whole different impetus for the return of Steppenwolf in the original renditions.
I will also say, like, I like Wonder Woman as a character. I love Gal Gadot. I didn't have any problems with her acting so much. I think that there were too many gratuitous ass shots that just lingered on her butt. And they really need to explain in the next Wonder Woman movie why the Amazons can't leave Nemaskira.
Yeah.
And she can. Because it doesn't make any sense.
Are there any Amazons left after all that?
Yeah, there's a whole legions of them. They were all coming down, and then he teleported out. What?
Right.
By the way, gorgeous chase scene, totally useless.
Right. Same thing with that giant elaborate 6-door system, and then he just punches out through this wall. It's why do you have 6 doors when the wall isn't 6 doors thick?
Yeah.
I was first thought was wait, you mean to tell me the wall is 6 inches thick and you put 6 doors on the entrance tunnel? Why?
Yeah, I don't understand at all where they
that's
made
just
some
cinematic
of these decisions.
goofiness right there.
Yeah, it's he should have come bursting through the doors they were nothing. But no. But no,
or something
going to come through a wall.
Well, coming through the wall, it's okay, this is stupid architecture. We need to keep this thing safe, so let's put 6 doors. And 90-yard entrance tunnel. Well, how thick should we make the walls? 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah. Also,
why?
If these Amazons knew exactly what was happening, they've had the mother box underneath guard, and they knew that it coming awake was a bad thing, why didn't they light their fires sooner?
Right. As if it would have really done any good, though. No one had any idea what the fire meant, besides Diana.
Right. I mean, but hey, at least Diana would have talked with Bruce Wayne sooner. They could have worked on their team building skills for
cinematic pacing, Nanny. Come on, how these things work.
The pacing in this movie is about watching a toddler eat ice cream.
It's really frustrating.
Yes.
And you just can't help no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. The Aquaman.
Like a toddler eating ice cream. The Aquaman.
Mr. Arthur Curry, Mr. Jason Momoa. Yeah, he's the Hulk. He's there to be the big brute. I don't know. I like Jason Momoa, I guess.
I thought it was Moma. But
Moma?
Maybe I'm stupid.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel him and the Flash should have gotten their own movies before this movie ever came out.
Probably.
There's just not enough about his character that makes me really care or want to care about him.
Yeah, because he's a great actor. I really enjoyed other things he's been in.
Game of Thrones.
Actually, I've only seen, I guess because he dies in the first season of Game of Thrones, so sure. But also, he was in a bunch of Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, okay.
Right? And practically the same character, kind of. So he's got, he's entertaining to watch. He does a good job, and I want to see him in more things.
Mm-hmm.
But, you're just like you said, there's more to this, and we needed more explanations.
Yeah, it's just not good enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna go to Atlantis now.
Yeah, and there he is.
And then there he is, and I don't know. And the whole battle scenes with him, where he's just shouting, "Woo! Woo!
Woo! My man!
My man! Woo!
Whatnot?
Woo!" I just found it irritating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's they set it up for something and then didn't.
Yep. And then we get to the Superman. Wait, do you have anything you want to talk about Aquaman?
No, I think you covered it. He's
okay.
There for comedic something and to be the guy that hits things.
Right. So let's talk about Superman.
Okay, let's do that.
So we get a nice angry Superman.
Right.
I don't think we needed that.
I don't think we needed that. My whole thing with Superman in this one was even down to his lines and the way he did things is he was such a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
He just Superman's there and he says some cheesy, Boy Scouts of America line and wins.
Yeah.
At no point in any of the movie was any of his interactions with any of the other characters did it feel like it meant anything.
Yeah.
It just felt like he was saying the words.
I will say this. We get the only payoff from Batman v Superman thanks to Superman.
And that is?
The weird dream sequence from Batman v Superman where the Flash with a mustache shows up and he's like, Lois Lane is the key.
Okay.
And then in Justice League, Lois Lane is the big gun.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's the only payoff.
They retconned that into making sense. Good job for them.
And I honestly think that was accidental.
Yeah, probably.
I want to know what happened to Flash's mustache.
Yeah. Well, it's that's going to happen in if they keep somehow stringing these together, in 6 years, they'll finally, retcon that into making sense.
Well, now that won't ever happen because,
Well, at some point they're going to be well, no, we got to, have him go back in time.
Yeah.
To make all this shit make sense.
But yeah. No, so Joss Whedon, Zack Snyder, I blame them both. They both fell into the worst Superman trope. Superman made everyone else pointless.
Yeah.
It's when he actually gets involved, right? He shows up, he pretty much just tosses around Steppenwolf like a rag doll. And he's like, what's going on? Well, we need to protect him at all costs because of that. He goes, oh, well, I hear people that are suffering. I'm going to go save them first and I'll be right back.
Yeah. And then he, the Flash pushes the pickup with the 5 people in it. And Superman just flies by with a building. You're like,
right. Bringing a
where was that
age.
Back in, Batman versus Superman?
Yeah.
Or in the Superman movie where you're knocking down whole buildings.
Yeah, it's like they brought back the golden age Superman superhero power where he's able to emit a field that keeps things together when he's carrying them.
Yeah.
Because he just picks up an entire building and then just flies it past the Flash at a faster speed than Flash is pushing the pickup truck.
Yeah, so everyone in the building's dead from being smeared against the wall. But, the building's okay.
And then it's like, okay, then you got everyone fighting Steppenwolf except for Superman. And they're like fighting him to a standstill. Not even that. Steppenwolf is owning them, even though they've shown that Wonder Woman has superhuman speed, probably as fast as the Flash for what they showed.
At the end of Wonder Woman, she basically is flying there. She's probably as powerful or more powerful than Superman.
Right, and they're just
because she's technically an ancient Greek god.
That's right. She is a god. And they kind of retcon that with like saying you only have blood of the old gods. No, they said that she is a god. Like she is a flat out god.
Yeah.
And so they're like having all this trouble with Steppenwolf, and then Superman shows up and he's like, bitch.
She's pimp slapped Steppenwolf out of the movie.
Right. And then we get like the worst ending of a villain
eaten by his own minions.
Yeah, eaten by his own minions.
Maybe. He does teleport away. You don't know if he might still be alive so that they can have him in like 6 movies or something later.
Yeah, Darkseid called him back, but still, he was defeated by his own fear.
Sounds like a Saturday morning special, doesn't
it? Vomit. I mean, can you think of another comic? Like, can you think of a villain, like a primary villain in a comic book movie, Marvel or DC, that has a worse ending?
Not offhand.
I mean, because I want to know.
I guess the ending of Venom in the Spider-Man movie was pretty sad. He got belled to death.
But that makes sense from a comic point of view because his weakness is sound.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I just feel and then okay, Superman comes back. They have that whole interaction at the Superman Memorial. There's cops there. Lois Lane calls him Clark. He's dressed up like Clark Kent. And so the cops are right there.
It's like everyone knows who he is now.
Right. And then at the end, he's going to work as Clark Kent. Just another normal day in the world.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, wait, how do you explain that? It's like, oh, you were dead, but yeah, you can have your job back.
I'll tell you this.
You came back just as Superman did. That is super ironic.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
I mean, you remember Batman v Superman, right? They had the funeral for him. They had the funeral for Clark Kent. It was open casket. Everyone was around him, walking by, doing the thing. Everyone knows that Clark Kent is dead.
Yeah. Like
dead.
Does this make sense?
And you know what? They'll probably make all of this irrelevant in the Flashpoint movie.
Probably because
that's what Flashpoint is all about. Yeah, Flashpoint is all about.
All this hinges back to the fact that somewhere at Marvel Studios is someone with a binder and a spreadsheet keeping all their shit straight. Nowhere, anywhere involved in the DC universe is someone with a binder and a spreadsheet keeping anything straight.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, this will be cool. Throw it in.
And then let's just touch on the 2 end credit scenes, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay, end credit scenes.
Okay, the first one, liked it.
Yeah,
that's the most enjoyable part of the film for me.
Superman and Flash racing.
With one exception, I have one problem with it.
What?
Each time that they've raced, it's always been on foot for both of them.
Oh, and Superman's flying?
Because Superman can definitively fly faster than the Flash unless Flash enters the Speed Force.
Yeah.
And honestly, this version of the Flash, he'd have a hard time beating Wonder Woman. I mean, he's tripping on his feet every 17th
step. Yeah.
I loved that end credit scene. I thought it was fun. I thought, yeah, you know what? That should have been the only end credit scene that they should have done.
Yeah.
They should have ended it on a high note. But no.
But
What
instead,
we get.
now we have to look at Jesse Eisenberg again.
Well, and let me tell you about my first disappointment with that trailer.
Or end credit
Or with that
scene
end
trailer
credit scene.
thing.
So
It really is.
they're
It really
zooming
was a
in.
trailer in its own. When it comes right down to it, that was a trailer for the
League of Evil or whatever they're called.
yeah.
But my first letdown with that was they're zooming in on the back of the guy, right? He's
Right.
bald, and it's an older individual, and I'm like, oh, it's not Jesse Eisenberg Luthor, it's Lex Luthor Sr. We're gonna get good Lex Luthor.
And then it was just
And then it was just a no-name actor who was insane. And then it goes, and I'm like, and then it leads me to the second letdown, realizing that we're going to get Jesse Eisenberg wearing an ill-fitting suit. And then boom, that's what I got.
yeah,
And then I got kind of excited about Deathstroke.
kind of.
And then Deathstroke looked like a cosplayer who didn't know what to do with his costume. Just kind of standing there against a green screen.
Yeah, I'm here. I am.
And then they went with the full-on white-haired Deathstroke, which I guess kind of makes sense.
He has
since
to be
he's
old so he can fight old Batman.
Well, I guess, but that. And that brings me to the saddest part of this. I want all these comic book movies in DC to succeed, because I think if they succeed and they make a lot of money and they're well reviewed and they're well received, it pushes Marvel to do better, and that pushes them to do better. And this
And it's a vicious cycle of success.
right. This is just mediocre.
Yeah.
And the more mediocre it gets, the more expectation that the movies are going to be mediocre. And then we're going to stop getting comic book movies, which I love. Like, I love these comic book movies. And now, like, this, like, Justice League 2, because this was originally supposed to be a duology, is nowhere on the books. No one knows what has happened to it. We didn't even get a teaser of Darkseid. We got his name once,
Right.
but we didn't get a teaser of him. There will probably not be a Batman solo movie.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Ben Affleck is just done.
Yeah.
And I don't know. In theory, we're definitely going to get a Wonder Woman 2. Flashpoint is evidently mostly done, and we're supposed to get an Aquaman movie. But it wouldn't surprise me if we lose the Aquaman movie, because I don't think they started filming on it yet. And they end up using Flashpoint to reboot the DC extended universe.
That might be the way to do it.
But yeah, that's my thoughts, and that's why I don't like this film. I think that there were moments of levity and moments of things that I really liked, but this movie should have done better than mediocre. Like, this movie should have been half decent.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do it. They just did not deliver.
I think you're right. It's just like a toddler eating ice cream. You keep looking and going, you could, if you were, listen, this is how you're supposed to do this.
Right.
Watch. Okay. No, watch. I give up.
And a part of me would like to see a Zack Snyder cut of this film.
Just to see how bad that would be?
Oh, well, just to see, like, how he wrapped up his vision on this. Because, I love Joss Whedon. I love the points of levity that he had. I like how he brought in that whole argument between Tony Stark and Captain America on whether or not they should resurrect Vision. Oh, I'm sorry, Superman.
Yeah.
But which was fine. but
Yeah.
it could have been better.
It
It
could have
should have
been
been
better.
better.
Could have, would have, could have, should have, had have been better.
So, how many out of 10 internets, my good sir?
5.5.
How would you rate? 5.5. 4.
4 internets.
Like,
Mainly because
yeah.
I laughed at more of the jokes than you.
Yeah, probably. Like, honestly, like I could see where this could have been a fun film, and it should have been a fun film, but instead, I think we got a lot of disjointed CGI, fake world mustache shots.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Jake.
Yeah.
Now that I've completely demolished this movie, that at the beginning of our first part you said that you very much enjoyed.
I don't know if I very much enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
That you enjoyed it. How jaded are you this week? Last week it was a 12 that you moved to an 8.
Let's call it a 7.
Oh, it went down.
Yeah. It'd be bad if it went up. Real bad.
I'm still at an 8. Actually, no, I'm going to go down to a 7 because I got all of that off of my chest and it's been weighing. It's been weighing there.
Yep, that's a mighty weighty thing. So I'm glad you feel better. So do you have a quote for today?
It's your turn to go first.
Oh, well, I don't have a quote. Just
Okay,
as I could bet. I can dig it.
I'm going to quote the worst line of the movie.
Okay.
And it comes from Superman. It comes from them breaking the rules of properly using Superman. And it was a Joss Whedon add-on, and I know it.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Okay.
I also like justice.
Oh, I also like justice. Yeah, that was bad.
Oh, you can't see it, but I'm rubbing my forehead.
I can feel it.
Oh.
It's just, come on. I'm also a big fan of justice.
I was sitting in the theater when he said that, and I groaned. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, they worked really hard to try and change the whole way that Superman acted in this movie. Like, in the previous movie, Superman is always a little bitter.
Yeah.
And like, in this, he's like, super Boy Scout Superman. We're not getting another Superman movie.
Probably not.
No way.
Not like that, anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you find a quote?
Here you can talk to fish.
Also, I wish that wasn't in the trailer. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, it would have been hilarious if it hadn't been in the trailer. There's like, listen, trailer people, quit putting all the good parts of the movie in the trailer. It just ruins it.
Oh, did you know? So you know, Warner Brothers owns part of the stock in Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So they withheld the Rotten Tomato rating for 2 days after it was released.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fussing about that.
All right.
There's been a whole lot of weirdness with it. That's a discussion for another time. The weirdness surrounding Rotten Tomatoes lately.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you liked what you heard here today, for some reason, you should totally follow us on Twitter to be updated when new podcasts are posted. And you can send your complaints to proteuspodcast@gmail.com, where we will mercilessly mark them on the air.
Well, if we ever got them, we'd probably actually be all fanboy fangirlish over the letter first.
Over the gleefully mocking you.
Yeah,
in a very happy and uplifting way.
Yeah, true
because
story.
you emailed us.
Because you emailed us and we're lonely.
And we're send us cookies.
And
As always, subscribe on Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, YouTube, and other places fine podcasts are purveyed.
Especially Podbean, who hosts us.
And all that being said, I've been Jacob.
And I'm still Danielle.
And we have been the Proteus Podcast. Good night, everyone.